Hello everyone, my name is Faith Ma, and today I'm going to share with us quick tools or quick guidelines on our regulatory requirements for starting up a business or a company in Nigeria. As a business owner or a startup founder or someone who has a business and you intend to set up a company, there are regulatory requirements that must be considered before you are able to set up a company. All right, first, the regulatory body in charge of registering companies or businesses in Nigeria is known as the Corporate Affairs Commission. They are the body in charge of making sure that a company is registered in accordance with the law of our country. All right, and so for you to be able to start a business, you must first have a business name, which is kind of an identity for your business. And so if you have a name, first you have to do is what we call a name search. You have to conduct a name search for the company so that we can be able to identify in the CAC portal if there are similar names that already existing of the business. And also the law also have some prohibited names that must not be used in setting up a company. So that's the idea of carrying out a preliminary search. Once the preliminary search is carried out and a name is approved for you, then it's time for you to be able to file your application concerning the registration of your company. Once your company registration application is sent into CAC, of course, through an agent or through a lawyer who is registered with the commission, that's the Corporate Affairs Commission, you would definitely need to send in certain details and certain information. By now, you should know who is meant to be on your board as directors or as shareholders. And so such vital information will be sent to your lawyer or your agent, whichever is the one in charge of registering your company in CAC. So the number of shares to be allotted to your directors or to the shareholders, and then also the company address, email, and of course the personal information of every director and every shareholder. All of this information is to be transferred to whoever is in charge of registering a company, and then the process commences. Once the process commences and the certificate is issued with you, usually within a week, if there are no queries and if you've actually sent in all the required information, within a week, your certificate should be out. Once it's out, it means your company is now officially registered and now has a legal identity. So your company stands as an entity on its own, different from you, that can sue and be sued. And then once it's registered, most preferably as a limited liability company, because it is indeed a private company. Once it's registered, that's not all. There are certain other regulatory requirements that are needed for you to be able to operate as a company. Now, do not forget, registering the CAC means you are liable to paying annual returns. But when you register a company, a grace period of 18 months, that's a year and 6 months, is given to you for you to simmer down, or for your company to simmer down and get its bearing. But once that 1 year, 8 months, or 18 months elapses, then you are beginning to start filing in your annual returns every year back to CAC. That is very important. Once this is done, or once your registration is complete with the Corporate Affairs Commission, the next thing you're to do, depending on the sector that you are or your business is engaged in, you're meant to go ahead to do a registration with what we call SCOML, which is what the Special Control Unit Against Money Laundering, usually known as SCOML. It's a unit under the EFCC where they ensure that every company or every organization that is registered goes through their process to be able to control the issues of money laundering. So it is a major requirement. So you have to go to any of the EFCC next to you and make sure you get all of this information, or you visit SCOML, that's scuml.org for further information. But the SCOML certificate must be given to you before you can start operation. Mind you, for you to be able to open a corporate account for that business, a SCOML certificate is usually required by your bank or banker to be able to carry on the process of opening your corporate account. So once your SCOML is gotten, it's also free, and you can get more information from scuml.org, or you walk into any EFCC office and you'll be directed on what to do. But once that is done as well, depending on the sector that your organization is as well, if you're in the oil and gas company, remember there are so many licenses and permits, your DPR and all of those things that should be taken care of. All of those licenses and permits should be taken care of as well too. And then another important thing to take note of is your tax. FIRS, you need to have a TIN number, what we call a tax identification number. All of these things must be done before you start operation. So to be able to get your tax identification number, you walk into an FIRS close to you as well to register for your tax identification number and your VAT, which is value added tax. Once you do this formal application, basically they're going to send you your tax, they're going to give you your tax identification number, and then also make you a value-added tax collecting agent. So all of these documentations will be given to you to officially approve you or approve your team or your tax identification number and make you a VAT collector. So all of these guides and all of these regulatory requirements are key in starting your business. There are more, but these are the basic ones that should be taken care of before you start operations. So I believe with these few points, you've been able to understand the regulatory requirements of starting a company in Nigeria, and you're going to make the most of them to ensuring they are all done to avoid liabilities, to avoid issues with the government, to avoid any form of fees or liabilities from the government. Thank you very much. And I know you've learned one or two things today. See you next time.